Hey, I'm Roy. I'm a designer for the last 16 years. So today I have a tiny audience, 0 product sales. So I asked the internet what I should build next, right? So this video is going to be me just talking out loud about the 3 options that I presented. So let's just briefly talk about myself. I've been a designer for the last 16 years, designing products, and recently been doing a lot of startups. My most recent client is an AI startup, and it's helping businesses with their AI workflows. And so now I'm going to just talk about the 3 options that I asked the internet. And just to say, the reason why I'm doing this is potentially a designer yap series where I just talk out loud my feelings, my emotions, what's going on in the industry as a solo designer that's trying to get back in the game. And because of AI, and not to blame AI by the way, I am pro AI, so it has impacted me in many ways, and one of them being a recent, I would say, potentially losing a client that I've been with for over a year, and it could be multiple reasons, so I don't want to get too much into that story, but let's just go back to the 3 options I presented to the internet. When I say internet, I'm asking X, I'm asking on LinkedIn, I'm asking on Instagram, and now I'm asking on YouTube, right? So the first one is Framer templates, right? So Framer templates are just not selling, okay? So a brief history of my own proof is I have maybe 3 templates. The first template I ever made, it got a few sales, so that was amazing. And then the template review system, which is gone now since Framer 3.0. It has its pros and cons, right? So one of the pros is it's going to be quality checked. And the second template that I did, it took forever to get approved, being honest, right? It took forever. And that's a good reason, and it can be a bad reason. So what happened eventually is it got approved, and that template has generated perhaps, I think, if I know my figures, maybe 3K in sales and commissions. To me, that's amazing, right? And that was a SaaS template. Now, coming back to Framer 3.0, which I think was recently in July or June 2026. Now, since then, they have removed the template review system. And so going back to the template review system, that has now gone. So anyone can submit templates. Now, looking at my own template journey, I've published 1 new template, which is for lawyers, and 0 sales. So what this comes down to, is it a demand problem? Is it a distribution problem? So I asked the internet, should I try to build or fix the distribution problem, right? So what does that mean? That means just experimenting with the posts, right? Just trying to give value in Framer. However, the risk with that, is it a demand problem? As in, Framer has a lot of competition with other AI platforms, right? So you got Anthropic, you got Codex, Cursor AI, which is I think acquired by SpaceX, I think it is. So is it a demand problem? Is there just not enough demand, right? Is the market saturated? So even if I do build distribution, is it the quality of posts that I make, right? Is it just my design is just terrible, right? It could be that. It could be a lot of things. So anyway, going back to distribution problem for Framer template specifically should I try to for Q3, Q4, 2026? Should I try and focus on that, right? So that is number one, Framer distribution template problem. Okay. So now let's go on to number two, which is, should I build a social growth tool, right? So this is, again, fixing, I wouldn't say fix, but trying to solve the distribution problem. Now, who is it for specifically? It's for designers, right? Because that's who I am. And I feel that's the ICP, the ideal customer profile, right? So you have to try and figure out who that is. And because that's where my skills and experiences, I lean towards the designer audience. And what platform do I think about, right? Because there's so many AI tools now, such as Postiz. So Postiz, right? And this, I don't know the creator's name, forgive me, but he has done very well. And there's a lot of X-Growth tools. His tool is like a multiple platforms. So do I want to then just focus on a small one or two platforms? Let's say one. And let's say that platform is X, right? Because X is where the ICP designers hang out, right? So, and again, it's not building some crazy SaaS, right? Competing with Postiz, for example. You want to really go in the micro SaaS niche, and there's a lot of debate about indie hackers dying, right? So there's that risk with, hey, it's dying because designers can build their own tools, right? Why do they need to use a tool that I built when they can build it themselves, right? So there is that risk demand kind of thing, which is why, again, I'm trying to see if there's any feedback anywhere with my tiny audience, right? So that's number two, the social growth tool idea problem, right? Should that be a focus for Q3, Q4, 2026? Okay, so we're heading on to 8 minutes. So now the last one, which I was thinking of saying first. So the last one is a new bottleneck, which is AI prototype slop, meaning PMs, designers, they can now ship prototypes. They now get approval from stakeholders, and I've lived through this with a recent client, right? However, when it then reaches developers, the code gets rejected because it's slop, right? It's just not secure. It's just not following best practices. And I'm not going to sound like I'm a developer expert, right? So my experience is I'm between design and developers. So I'm like the bridge. So I work with front-end code. I do HTML, Tailwind, ShadCN. And now it's gently collaborating with developers to arrive to a prototype / shippable product. However, in the industry, with some research, it's now pointing towards AI prototype slop getting rejected at dev level, right? So how do we solve that? Is that a bigger problem to solve? So that's what's been researched. How do I do my research? So you can ask Grok, you can reference a lot of surveys that are being done, right? So Tommy Gioco, hopefully I've got his name right, he's done a lot of great work on surveys where they survey designers from like well-known companies. And Figma, for example, so it's getting all that feedback, all that data, and it's pointing towards AI prototype slop, right? So what is the risk for that? The risk is, I'm assuming it's going to be solved, right? How are they solving it right now, in my opinion? That's why design engineers are in high demand, because you eradicate that AI slop, right? And then you have to have that designer that has a bit of dev experience, right? They might not be a true design engineer, which is where I see I am, right? I'm not a true design engineer. I can use AI tools. I can build micro SaaS end to end, right? Security, everything else, right? You're not saving your your important API keys, right? You're saving it in .env, for example. And developers might call me out, right? And there's a lot of nuances to number 3, right? AI prototype slop, right? There's so many nuances. What I mean by that is, can you actually, and it's down to the culture of the team, right? Why doesn't a designer developer talk early on with a PM? Why can't they collab early on to decide what is acceptable as a prototype? What are the guidelines, right? What is the Claude.md? What should we write in that? What components should we be using or reusing, right? So it's like setting expectation, communication, right? Are we including the developer all the way? So it's the tables have turned in that. Tables have turned. When I say tables have turned, I mean that in for example, designers would design stuff, right? And I've never been in this position where I would design something, give it to a developer. The developer would then make it, but it would be way off from the design, right? And the designer would complain. Okay, can you move this pixel and that? So it's that that design to dev handoff has been a bottleneck, right? However, now it's like designers are making prototypes, but now developers are like, hey, this is just not good enough. The code is not good enough. So it's now shifted. So, and again, nuances is like, aside from the code and design, are you interviewing? Are you talking with developers? Are you talking with the team? What are they truly struggling with, right? For example, is AI drifting? Is Claude not following instructions? Does it drift? Is the context window, is it getting too large, right? There's just so many things to talk about. Should the designer just be doing a prototype and then the expectation is that the developer is going to redo it in their own way? That is a very fair expectation, but that has to be communicated at all levels, from CEO to PM to stakeholder to client. They have to have that expectation that what they see in this prototype is not what they're going to get in the final product. But that is also a hard problem to solve as well. Quillo. And so yeah, those are the 3 problems that I've posted, and I hope that if there's any feedback on those, please let me know in the comments, subscribe, and I'm going to try and continue this Designer Yap series, and see you in the next video.